Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are. I must be doing something right. I've been trying to get on, and I'm at a place that has great, 100% internet here. You know, 100% Wi-Fi on. The signal is super strong, and you know, this is my third or fourth time trying to get on to talk to you about what's going on in your life. And really, all you'll have to do is focus, conscious intent. I am. Conscious intent. I am. Conscious intent. I am. Conscious awareness. I am. Conscious awareness. I am. Conscious awareness. I am. After you say it 3 times, you say Om. Aho. Then you say, bless me indeed, enlarge my territory. Put your hands upon my shoulders and protect me and keep me from evil so I will do no harm. So in every day and every way, I can take the peace of the earth and make it stronger. And that's what we're here to do. You know, the other day, um, I was going to the doctor and running errands and being semi-unconscious. And there is all these little things. I tried to get something to eat, and I was the last person for breakfast. Sorry, but that guy just got breakfast. So, well, you're the last guy, and now it's lunchtime, and we're not ready for lunchtime, so you'll have to wait 40. It's like all day long, things of that nature occurred. And the more annoying things got, the more unconscious I got. And that's when I stopped. I was coming out of the Dollar Tree. I don't go to any other store. The Dollar Tree is where everything is a dollar. That pizza wheel at Walmart's at $6. It's $1 at Dollar Tree. So I still go to Dollar Tree. Now, instead of spending 20, $30 at Dollar Tree, I try to spend under $6. So towards the end of the month is when I kind of run out of money. And if you want to send anything to my PayPal, go on there and say, when they ask for the email address, it's the dude awake 42 at Gmail. So, and I haven't seen anything there in the longest of time, and I'm really kind of strapped. And that's the other thing that's a little, stressful. But that's only on the material plane. On the physical plane, on the spiritual plane, when I am consciously aware I am, consciously aware I am, consciously aware I am. Om, Aho. Aho is the first people's amen, right? Aho, meaning thank you, great maker, for all that you've given me, And to realize we're a work in progress. When Moses was up there in the hill with the sheep and the burning bush showed up and the burning bush said, go to Egypt and get our people um, out of um, bondage. And a bondage, the Hebrew nation was not slaves in Egypt. What they were in bondage to was their own addiction to materialism. And, their belief in what their book said, not in, the word that should be told to them every day in every way by their relationship with the great maker. That's what it's about. It's not about reading a book. A book is written by man. Oh, this is the secret, most important, the new edition. Sorry. The Bible, and the Hebrew scroll, the Torah, and the Christian um, book, the New Testament, and the Muslim Quran. They're all the same book, basically. And those three religions are the same religion, basically. Christianity is supposed to be based on love. The Hebrew nation is based on respect, and Islam is based on hospitality. If you see someone who needs something, you're supposed to give it to them. And Sharia law is like if you're a baker and somebody steals a loaf of bread, yeah, you could cut his hand off, but Sharia law says the baker will, the thief will lose one hand, the baker will lose both hands because the baker should have given him the loaf, right? The baker enabled that person to break the law. So the baker is more at fault. So, and that is where we're at, and we should live every day in every way to take the peace and love of the great maker and work in co-creation, where we are a work in progress. So when Moses was on the hill with the burning bush and the sheep, and the bush, go get the Hebrew nation out of Egypt, get them not so much out of Egypt, but he said out of them being imprisoned by their materialism, right? So the burning bush said, "Okay, I'll give you one answer. Give me a question, and I won't be flipped. You give me a question." And so back, Moses was a pretty sharp dude, and he asked the burning bush, "So what's your name?" That's back in the day. What your name was? It was who you and what you are, and what you were doing, and everything about you was in your name, right? And now pretty much everyone's named Joe Smith, number 14973477777776666. But no. So the burning bush answered, not "I am who I am," because that's Popeye. No, the burning bush said, "I'm a work in progress, and you are my reflection. We are doing this in co-creation of love's one love." And if you read the Greek, the first Christians were Greek, not the Holy Roman Empire, the Greeks, like 600 years before. And because Jesus, he didn't leave the building. He just first went to Greece and then to France to start the Merovingian line with Mary. And so, and so Jesus has never left. So the other day when I was coming out of Dollar Tree, there was a homeless guy sitting on a bench. And this is one of the only benches left in all of Boone, North Carolina. They took them all away. There used to be a bunch downtown, no more. So this is the only one that's left, right? And they don't shush people away. And it's a pretty big, and there's two benches, and they're pretty big. You could get a good 10 homeless people there. And there's always a homeless person there, and they usually go into Dollar Tree. And you could buy a whole meal for $2 at the Dollar Tree. You could buy a packet of hot dogs for $1, and you could buy a can of whatever you wanted, right? And that would be a substantial meal, right, for $2, right? And so this guy he had his bottle of, Tang, or, it wasn't a soda, it was more like a juice. And he had a few, a packet of hot dogs, and he had a can of that you popped open, and so he didn't need a opener. And I just come out, and I only had about $10 to me till the end of, when I get my next end of the month, when I get my next Social Security check, after paying all my bills, and my car isn't doing too good, so I don't know how I'm going to get that out of hock. So anyway, a friend of mine was nice enough to lend me his beater to get around in. So and that car is on its last legs too. So there I was. I had like $9 in my hand, and I look at this guy and I go, should I give him $4 or $5? $4 or $5? And I said, I'm going to keep the 4. I'm going to give him 5. So I went over and I said, "Excuse me, but here is $5. I don't have much, but this is, I want you to have it." He looked up to me and smiled and said, "Thank you. You were blessed." And I said, really? And he said, yes. So we started talking, and this guy was Jesus, you know, as the homeless guy. He was just waiting to see, sitting there on the bench. I sat down with him and I talked to him for about an hour. And I sussed out that this guy was Jesus Christ, in the flesh. And I've rolled into Jesus a few times, and a few of his angels. And so we talked, and I kind of, was going on about. And he had 411 on me. So he goes, "You live out in the woods, don't you?" I said, He goes, "You're." What did he say? He said, "You're homeless, but in a very comfortable kind of way." I said, "You got it, buddy." And so we talked, and I said, "So you got a place to stay?" He said, "Always. I'm in my father's house." He goes, "I'm just sitting on this bench, seeing who'd show up." You showed up. And he offered me a hot dog from his pack, and I said, "Yeah, sure, why not?" You know, those hot dogs have been irradiated, cooked. You can eat them straight up. So we're talking, and he passed me, and he kept pulling things out of this little pack. So he pulled out a thing of mustard, so I could dunk my hot dog in that. And his hot dog pack was never ending. I mean, we probably ate. It was a pack of 6 hot dogs, and we probably ate 30. Right? And a couple of little dogs came by, and he gave them hot dogs, and we just talked and talked and talked. And this guy was Jesus. He kept saying things like, "So you know who I am?" I said, "Yeah." So everyone who's talking about, the New Testament and end of times and all of that it's like a joke. It's never ending. As Q said, the trial is never over. So and we are meant to get to go home. All of us. None of us are sinners. Now, we are morons and make mistakes, but those are there for us to learn from. And so if we are consciously aware, I am, we will learn from these things. And I try to. I'm still a moron and I still make mistakes, but I'm here to in every day and every way take the peace of the earth and make it stronger because I love you. You're my brothers and sisters. You're all my relations.